Yeah, so fucking what if I sucked an old man's cock?
Hey, do we need that language? Jesus. I'm going to attempt to turn this into a family show. I'd like you to keep that language under control.
I even fucked a schoolgirl's twat.
So what?
I even fucked a goat. I ran my cock right down its throat.
Great song. A little dirty.
I'm not sure I approve of that message.
Why?
I'm going to church in about 6 hours. And I'm filthing myself up with your favorite band.
Yeah, well, that's it. Just blame me. I made you play that song.
Well, if I was married, my wife would hate you.
Oh yeah, well, believe me, my wife hated me for. And it didn't have a lot to do with my love for that song.
Speaking of wives that hate me,
yeah,
I saw our friend today.
Oh,
Steve.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
How's he doing?
I had to do a handoff to him. I had to hand off a firewall to him today.
Okay.
And so we just shot the shit today a little bit.
And then he said, "Oh, I got to go. The wife's expecting me."
Well, we did this in a Walgreens parking lot.
Okay.
Not at my home. At a Walgreens parking lot.
Oh, because he's not allowed to go to your home?
Apparently not. I don't know.
I don't want you hanging out with your single friends
anymore. Could you meet me down the street? He says, "Can you meet me down the street and bring me the firewall?" It's like, dude, you're like 2 minutes from my house. Yeah, well, meet me at the Walgreens.
Was she with him?
No.
And he's still that big of a pussy whipped fuck?
I don't know that answer. I don't know the reason why. I just didn't even question it. It's like, okay, I'll meet you down the street.
She probably looks at his fucking find me, follow me on his phone. Wait a minute. You went all the way to Neely's house. What is this shit? How dare you spend your time that you could be spending with me?
Right, of course.
At his house.
Yeah.
Brother.
Were you guys looking at naked girls?
I'll bet he had whores at his house for you to fuck, didn't he?
Because it's that easy.
Yeah. They were just lined up and waiting at the house. You walked right in, stuck your dick in, and then left. I know how you work, Steve. Steven. You know, that's it, too. It's whenever she's in that mode, it's Steven.
Of course.
Steven. How dare you, Steven?
That was good catching up, though.
Good to hear. He's surviving the virus?
Yeah, so far so good. We stood our, required 6 feet away from each other while we conversed in the parking lot.
Did you set the firewall down and then walk away, and then he walked up to it and picked it up?
I handed to him at a long arm's length, and he reached out and took it from me.
You didn't throw it to him?
No, I did not.
God, people are so stupid with this nonsense.
Uh-huh.
God.
All right.
Well, glad to hear Steve's okay.
He's good.
Good.
All right. So what do you have for us?
Well, I have this segment. I've been thinking that the show needs to be a little more kid-friendly.
Okay. Because, kids are up at midnight.
Of course.
Wondering what to do, what to listen to.
That's right. And we get accused sometimes of being a little rough with the language and with the topics. So we needed some kid-friendly content.
Well, we should have done this at the beginning of the show since, there's probably, I'm just going to guess, that there would probably be more kids up at this hour, but who knows? The kids running wild these days. The youth run wild.
Thank goodness we have the podcast where the parents can play it any time they'd like for their children. So, as you probably remember, as a bit one night on the show, 8-9 months ago, I think it was.
Well, it's probably been about a year ago.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, because we did this. You ordered the book, and it literally took 5 months to get it.
Yes.
So I'm thinking we talked about this about a year ago.
Well, we talked about it a year ago, and it is finally time to unleash the ABCs of Metallica.
All right.
Do you know your alphabets? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L.
It's the ABCs of Metallica, a learning time for the children listening to the CMS. And here's your professor of heavy metal phonics, Chris Aiken.
Yeah. Where's Miss Booksy when we need her?
I know. Dude, I looked everywhere for Miss Booksy doing ABCs, but she wasn't doing it.
Now, who was singing the ABC song?
Just something on YouTube.
Okay, so that wasn't you producing that.
No, I just found some YouTube, and then that's my son doing the read.
I gotcha.
And then my favorite part of the whole thing is right at the end with the kids cheering, and then all of a sudden James going, yeah!
All right, I think that deserves one more play.
All right,
and then we'll get into the meat of this thing.
all right.
Do you know your alphabets? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L.
It's the ABCs of Metallica, a learning time for the children listening to the CMS. And here's your professor of heavy metal phonics, Chris Aiken.
Yeah. Thank you, Ed McMahon.
I love it. I love the yeah.
Yeah.
Here it is, CMS people. There's the book.
There it is. Well, we talked about this about a year ago that Metallica was coming out with a children's book. Metallica, what is it called? ABCs of Metallica?
The ABCs of Metallica.
And Chris ordered it on, during the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you received it until like August?
Yeah, it was a long, long time. It took a while to get it, and then it just kind of sat on my couch for months.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here we are. We're into April. So it sat on your couch from, through the fall and into the winter, and now we're into the spring, and here it is.
And here it is. And, dude, you know how we've talked at length about family-friendly James?
Yes. Welcome, friends.
This is the culmination of that. This is where they're clearly going into, they're no longer scary. They're no longer violent. They are family-friendly Metallica now.
Now, is James wearing his plaid shorts? His Burberry shorts?
No, but he's wearing his wannabe biker vest. And he's got a big dumb smile on his. Look at this cover again. Can you see it good enough to see that they all got big smiles on their face?
Well, let me enlarge your screen here.
All right.
Yeah, they're all big. They got the bright smile going on. They're all even Robert Trujillo, even his wild hair, but he's got a big smile on his face with his big gym shoe up there.
Now look at the back cover. The back cover has like a patch vest with Metallica real big in the middle and all the individual guys' names on the patches. Do you see that?
Yeah. Well, if Clay Morrow was still alive, he would have taken their cut from them and shot them in the head.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're not real bikers. Get the fuck out of here. It's kind of like Ray Liotta in Wild Hogs. You're not real bikers. Go back home. You're not real rockers. Go back home.
Dude, this makes me somewhat embarrassed to be a Metallica fan. I love the tunes, but what happened How did this happen?
I don't know, man. The only thing I can think of, and whether you like the Rolling Stones or not, they were very prolific early on. But even the one line, what a drag it is to get old.
Yeah, it's true.
You just become old.
Yeah, but they don't have to become pathetic.
Well, here's the thing. Getting back to something I talked about at the very, very beginning of the show.
Yeah.
When I went to broadcasting school, I was 32.
Okay.
And there was a young guy. I remained friends with him for years. Chipper was friends with him.
Okay.
And this kid, when he was in broadcasting school, he was 19. Okay. So I'm about 12 years older than this guy.
Sure.
And so I haven't heard from him in several years. He used to be in the chat room. He'd listen to the show. I kept in touch with him, and then all of a sudden he just dropped off.
Okay.
And so Chipper, I hadn't seen Chipper in the chat room forever. And I saw him in there tonight, so I hit him up on a private message and just, hey, man, it's been a long time. How you doing? Everything. And then I asked him, I said, hey, are you still in contact with Marty? And he goes, yeah, he kind of moved out of town. He lives in Lodi now. I don't keep in touch with him, but, I periodically, we run into each other, whatever. And he goes, but you would never recognize him. And I said, why? How so? Why? He goes, he's got this long gray beard and he's like all old and shit. I go, this guy's like 10 or 12 years younger than me. He goes, dude, this guy looks 10 years older than you. He's like, he's like all family man and just like all old and decrepit and stuff. And I gotta think that he's 44, 42, 44. And he goes, yeah, he's got this long gray beard and he's just like, looks like an old guy. What the fuck happened?
I just don't understand the settle down. How do you do that?
Well, the thing is at that age, I mean, if you're 65 or 70, maybe I get it. But at 40 something, it's like, dude, you should be out there living your life.
You're what now, 56?
I'm 56.
You think in 9 years you're going to start listening to country music
and
soft jazz?
Of course not.
I mean, that's what I'm saying is when people, it seems like as people get older, they like change what they're into. It's like the things that they were into in high school or college or whatever, or in their early 20s, just go away for some reason.
Yeah. Well, I used to like that. It's like, well, you don't like it anymore?
Yeah. What happened that made you not like it anymore?
Yeah.
And the answer is always, well, I got married, I had kids. That's always the answer. I got married, I had kids.
Yeah.
And therefore I can't listen to my Metallica or my Dokken or my Anthrax anymore. Instead, I got to listen to James Aldean or Jason Aldean or whatever his fucking name is. I don't even know his name. It's like, holy cow. I went from rocking with Dokken to Jesus Take the Wheel with Carrie Underwood. It's like, how does that happen?
I don't know, man. I don't get it. I just, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, to each their own. But, regardless, it was just kind of funny because, this kid, he was major Pantera.
Right.
In fact, he's the one who turned me on to Pantera.
Now he's major Pansy.
I have zero. I don't know. I mean, I haven't talked to the guy in a few years because he just kind of dropped out. I didn't even know he moved. But regardless of that, he let me borrow his Far Beyond Driven release.
Right.
That's when I started listening to Pantera, and it was just like, yeah, I dig this a lot.
He probably doesn't even own it anymore.
Probably not. I don't know. But he and another guy, his name was Doug. We all ran around together, and we went to see the Howard Stern movie together. We went to see the Beavis and Butthead Do America together. We went to concerts and all kinds of stuff together. And Nez was like, yeah, dude, you won't even recognize him. He's like all old and got this long gray beard. It's like, what is he, 44?
And he'd run into you and be like, dude, we got to hang out sometime. Maybe we can go catch Adele or something.
Yeah.
We can go catch a nice Adele show. Are you into her? She's great. I remember that you were into the rock and roll back in your youth, Neely. What do you think now, man?
Yeah, are you still doing that?
Yeah, let's go see some rock and roll. How about Nickelback? You like them? How about some Theory of a Dead Man? Those guys are really cool, man.
Right.
Let's make it heavy. Let's go and have a heavy metal night, dude. How about some Godsmack, man? I guarantee you that's him. I remember when I used to like the metal. I still do, man. Like the Godsmack. Call it the Godsmack.
Yeah, the Godsmack.
Yeah, it's the Godsmack, man. That's really cool, man.
I'll tell you a quick story.
All right.
Back in 90, I think it was 90 or 91, I dated this girl for a short time. Real cute gal. And I left California in March or April of 91. Well, anyway, I met up with her again. It was like 2000 and boy, I want to say it was like 2003. I think I went to a metal sludge party, I think.
Okay.
And it wasn't far from where she lived. And I contacted her, I guess. I can't remember. And, it'd been a while since I'd seen her and stuff. And so she was just asking me, what are you doing out here? And I said, I'm going to this metal sludge party. I think this was like 2004, maybe 2005. I'm thinking somewhere around there. And she goes, oh, you still listen to that stuff? And I go, yeah, are you still doing that show? And I go, yeah, you mean the classic metal show? Yeah, I'm still doing that show. And she goes, how long are you going to do that? With such disgust and disdain in her voice. It's like, how long are you going to do that?
Yeah. Why are you worried about it, person that I don't date and don't care about?
But it's like, when are you going to give that up?
Yeah. You should quit that and grow up.
Yeah.
You should have a house with a white picket fence and a dog in the backyard, Neely.
Right.
And you should stop going by the name Neely, too. Let's use that first name. Let's go with Wendell. Can I call you Winnie? Chicks and their fucking stupid nonsense.
Yeah.
When are you going to grow up? I'm not. Why the fuck would I want to?
Yeah. This is the way I live. This is what I like.
And who wants to live the way that they want you to live in the first fucking place? Yuck. Are you still going to do what would she rather you be doing?
I have no idea. No idea.
I have an exact idea. You know what she'd rather you be doing? Chores. That's what she'd rather you be doing.
Yeah.
Not focused on that crazy rock and roll, but being with her or some other chick, fucking doing chores, crossing things off the honey-do list, saving up for that big vacation to fucking Nassau.
Right.
So that you could have drinks on the boat and be wild and crazy.
Woo!
Then you could get off on the island and rent a scooter and ride around. And then get back on the boat and sail back and then go and tell all your friends what a great time you had. Doesn't that sound wonderful?
What do you mean you're going to buy that new Camaro SS? That's not a family car.
Why would you buy that when there's this great minivan right here?
Yeah.
Seats 10. Think of all the mulch you could carry in the back to work on the yard.
Yeah, no. No. It's not happening.
Fucking chicks, man. They have such a weird... Most. It's funny because I always feel bad when we say this like it's all of them. And it's not all of them. They all have a bit of crazy. That vagina has something that fucks up the brain. There is that. The vagina definitely secretes something that goes upward instead of outward.
Well, and I'll let you finish your thought, but I've been watching that Archer, and even on Archer, they're just like, I have a vagina. Of course I'm crazy.
Of course they are.
But go ahead.
It's like the wacky gene is hooked to the clit or something. And every time it gets touched by her or a guy, it just goes fucking goofy. Like, flick, flick. Okay, I'm nuts. You know, that's really how it goes.
Yeah.
But no, dude, it's just chicks. They always go into the relationship on the theory of change. It's never, okay, I like who you are, so I'll date you.
Yeah, I like the way that you are. I love your rock and roll. I love your, your passion for whatever it is that you do. No, you got to stop that.
It's always, man, you would be great to spend time with as long as I could change you into something completely different than you are. It's like, what are you thinking about? That was one of the things I heard during my divorce. During my divorce, I and you know me, I say things as bluntly as I say them. And I said to her, I said, you knew exactly what you were getting from day one. You knew you were fucking marrying a psychopath. And that's what I am. I'm a fucking nutty dude. And her response was immediate, like I should have known it. I expected you to change.
Yeah.
Well, why did you do that? Why did you expect me to change? Why didn't you just go and find the guy that was already what you wanted?
Yeah.
That's like buying a Yugo and expecting it to turn into a fucking Camaro.
Exactly.
It's really not going to happen. You can pretend you're driving it, but it's not. It's that's all it is. It's pretend. It's stupid. Chicks are just dumb.
It is. Well, what do you have for us in the ABCs of Metallica book? What can you bring to the table here? What are you going to read to us today?
Well, it is a collection of Metallica-isms in poetry form.
Oh, poetry.
Poetry form.
Like, that's not gay.
Designed to make you appreciate and learn your ABCs if you are a youngster that is into Metallica.
All right. Hello, friends. Glad you're here. You're the Metallica family.
Exactly. So give me my bumper one more time just because I love it, and then we'll do a few letters of the ABCs of Metallica.
Oh, my. All right. Here we go.
Do you know your alphabets? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M.
It's the ABCs of Metallica, a learning time for the children listening to the CMS. And here's your professor of heavy metal phonics, Chris Aiken.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, that is pre children's James.
Right.
James would never say something that harsh now.
Yeah, he doesn't bark that out anymore.
I should have looked up some "Hello, friends" or something like that.
Hello, friends. Glad you're here. The Metallica family.
That's right. Well, here is some reading for the youngsters in the Metallica family.
All right. Will this compel me to want to learn?
I would think so. You're going to want to know this Metallica music.
All right.
Or the ABCs according to Metallica.
All right.
So let's get into letter A.
All right. Let me get my nap rug out so I can sit on it and listen to you read.
All right. Are you ready, young Wendell?
I'm ready.
All right. A is for Injustice for All, Metallica's fourth LP. The first with Jason Newsted, the new bass devotee.
What? The new bass what? Devotee?
Devotee.
He's devoted to the bass? Is that what they're trying to say?
He most certainly is.
A devotee.
That's right.
Okay. All right.
With Lady Justice on the cover, Doris her funny nickname. The album was
wait. What's her funny nickname?
Doris.
Doris?
Yeah.
Where's the reference there?
You don't know Doris, Lady Liberty?
I do not.
I do not either.
Okay. So they just made her name up? They just said, yeah, that's Doris.
I guess they did.
All right.
Let me start that
Okay.
this funny whimsical poem.
All right, I won't interrupt.
With Lady Justice on the cover, Doris, her funny nickname. The album was greeted with love and lots of critical acclaim.
Wow. Okay.
The songs were a bit longer, the guitar riffs crunchy and tough. With drums fast and furious, metalheads could not get enough.
Except for there was no bass on that record.
The only bass reference is on A for this devotee of bass.
that did not get represented.
It got no representation of.
Okay. All right.
So do you like the A poem?
That was a whole poem dedicated to A only. Wow, it's in big letters too.
Big letters for blind guys like me to read to our children.
Okay.
Would you like to move to B?
Yeah, please
All
do.
right. And here we go. B. B is for the Bay Area, up north in the Golden State, famous for its giant bridges and the corner of Asbury and Haight.
So they're making a drug reference there for the for the Grateful Dead.
This is where Metallica scored drugs, apparently, Asbury and Haight.
Yeah, isn't that like the drug culture right there on that corner? Isn't that where the Jefferson Starship originated, as well as the Grateful Dead?
I believe it is, sir.
Of course, as a child, I would not know that historical reference.
No.
So I guess we're safe there from ignorance.
We are. But let's continue with some B.
Okay.
The Bay is where James and Lars moved to from down south in L.A. They went up there to play with Cliff and then decided to stay.
Did they live in a dumpy apartment next to Shut Up, Little Man?
Oh, my God. This is so cringy.
Shut up, little man.
Shut up, little man. Holy smokes. Ugh. Are you cringing yet? Do you have chills? I have chills on my arm. I
can't imagine that the band participated in actually writing this. I think somebody wrote it and then presented it, and they go, yeah, that's a cool idea. Let's do that.
The kids will love this.
Makes me want to learn. Makes me want to learn to stay away from Metallica.
No kidding. It's making me quickly a Megadeth fan. Most. All right. The letter C. Moving forward.
C is for cunt. Stunning cunts.
No. Language.
Oh, sorry. Cunning stunts.
I think you forgot that I was trying to make this a family-friendly segment, Neely. I'm trying to do a inspirational reading to our children listeners.
Yeah, I said cunning stunts.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a little close. Yeah. C is not for cunt or cunning stunts.
Cunning stunts.
C is for Cliff, the major rager, they would say. So mesmerizing to watch every time he'd play.
Is that a military rank, Major Rager?
Major rager. When I watch porn, I somehow get a major rager.
Well, you spent some time in San Francisco at Asbury and Haight. Was there major ragers going on up there?
Not by me, there weren't. I wanted nothing to do with anybody that was having a major rager.
And you didn't report to somebody by the name of Major Rager?
No, I didn't.
You didn't salute anybody by the name of Major Rager? Corporal Aiken reporting Major Rager.
There was no major rager there on Fort Ord. None. At least none that I knew. I didn't know major rager.
So that is not a military rank at all.
Well, it might be, but it wasn't. He was not assigned to Fort Ord where I was.
Okay. He was scoring drugs down at Asbury and Haight.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have because I was in the military, and Major Rager gave the order not to buy any.
Major Rager.
Major Rager.
Sounds like a sign off on a CB radio. Major Rager, 10-4.
Yeah, good buddy. It's Major Rager here, looking for the wild turkey. Are you out there, wild turkey? It's me, Major Rager. Over. All right, back to C. Dressed in denim from head to toe.
Wow.
Often with the Misfits tee. And a wild mane of red hair flying around for all to see.
Wow.
He played his bass like a master. His music was a gift to all. Among the greatest musicians in history, Cliff Burton will forever stand tall.
Stand tall, huh?
And look at this picture of Cliff that they drew.
Look at him.
It's Gay Cliff.
Yeah, he's got wings on. He's up there with Brian Badass Boone. He earned his wings.
I've seen a million videos and pictures of Cliff. I never once saw him smile like that.
Yeah.
And honestly, didn't he always have a goatee or a mustache?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that, if they wanted to be a little more edgy, they would have made those wings red.
Yeah, red blood wings, of course. All right, Neely, we're going to move on to D.
All right. Well, let's not read the whole book. Let's get into about maybe a fourth of the alphabet, and then we'll save it for later.
We'll go to F, and then we'll stop at F.
Okay. All right.
This is obviously a hit.
It is.
It's so bad.
It's horrific. It's well worth the money spent.
For $10 or whatever this was, it's well worth it. All right. Next up, of course, is the letter D. D is for Damage Incorporated, the final song on album 3. It's also the name of a tour the group did with Ozzy.
Is it phonetically spelled out like Ozzy?
No, it's not, but I rhymed it with 3.
Okay, all right. I like your poetic prose there.
Isn't that how I'm supposed to read it?
I think it is. I just was wondering if they spelled it out so the kids would understand that's how it's supposed to be, pronounced.
I'm a good dad. I put the inflection in here because I'm a good dad.
You are.
The lyrics speak of honesty and finding strength within, fighting hard for what you believe and never giving in.
Wow.
Yuck.
Yeah, well, it doesn't sound like Metallica really had a lot of success in not giving in.
No, definitely not. All right, we're going to move to E.
All right.
All right, children. The letter today is E. E is for Enter Sandman, a high-powered platinum hit about having trouble sleeping and what could be causing it. It's a heavy metal lullaby, which everyone agrees is one of the greatest songs ever, including the Virginia Tech Hokies.
What?
What? Virginia Tech Hokies thought that was a great song.
Okay.
They ran out of words, so they really wedged something in there.
Yeah, it's almost very Randy Trask and the Budges. You're just trying to wedge a word in somewhere it doesn't really belong.
Oh, well, this letter gets better. The Yankees' Mariano Rivera played it too as he entered to the roar of the crowd. There's no better jam at a stadium to get everyone up and loud. God.
I don't know. I'm feeling the urge to learn. I am. I'm feeling like I need to, step up in the studies area.
So awful. F is for Flying V, the coolest shaped guitar. James and Kirk sometimes play one, the most magnificent axe by far.
Yeah, that's because Dave Mustaine left the band and took all the cool with him.
Yeah, exactly. Its sound is always heavy, and it looks great up on stage. A staple in their guitar racks, the Flying V is all the rage. All right, we're going to do one more letter. We'll go to G and we'll stop.
All right.
Last letter. Letter G. G is for Garage Days, Metallica's humblest time, practicing for hours and hours to make sure their act would shine. They started playing songs by British bands and American ones, certainly. There were even two from Ireland, Sweet Savage and Thin Lizzy.
Boy, that's a reach.
That's awful. Some of the other groups were Killing Joke, Merciful Fate, and Budgie Indeed, Queen, Bob Seger, Anti-Nowhere League, and Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. And that will wrap up our reading for today.
Wow.
ABCs of Metallica. Oh, my goodness.
Well, we only got 19 more letters to go, so we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
All right. Well, we could stretch this out for about 3 or 4 more segments. And
oh, dude, I have chill bumps on my arms from fucking, that is so cringy.
That's called douche chills.
Oh, it is douche chills. Oh, that is awful.
Well, that is the ABCs of Metallica.
That's right.
And I think the only way to end this segment is to play some Damage Inc. because I've been damaged forever hearing that. Here's Metallica exclusively here
On your classic metal show.